sent out an olive branch to us to come down and immediately meet with him, meet with the whole trade administration, and discuss the future. Rather than waiting till April the 2nd, threats going back and forth, tit for tat, I've agreed to suspend temporarily, and we always have that tool in our toolkit, until we sit down over the next day or two. I'll be heading down to Washington along with Dominic LeBlanc, and we'll have a good discussion. You know, with any negotiation that we have, there's a point that both parties are heated and the temperature needs to come down. And I thought this was the right decision. They understand how serious we are about the electricity and the tariffs. And rather than going back and forth and having threats to each other, we have both agreed, let cooler heads prevail. We need to sit down and move this forward. This is a massive, massive deal, the USMCA, which the federal government will be leading the charge. I'll be sitting down with all our premiers tomorrow as well and discussing this and their issues as well. So we're going to go down there and we're going to go down there with confidence. We're going to go down there with strength. And again, hopefully we can move this forward. I feel as a province, and I only speak for the province of Ontario, I want to reaffirm I do not speak for any other premiers. Everyone's very patriotic and we have the best premiers I've ever seen. But we're going to be talking about the USMCA moving forward. The worst thing that could happen is wait and let this drag out until April the 2nd. So we're going to move forward and have a very good conversation with Secretary LeBlanc and the whole trade team, as he said, and hopefully we can move this forward, because it doesn't benefit anyone, as I told them, no matter if it's the auto sector or any other sector here in Canada and specifically Ontario. And all I mentioned, assembly lines will shut down in the US and Canada. The stock market is tumbling over $4 trillion. Consumer confidence has went down. I said it's absolute chaos out there right now. We need to move forward jointly. I emphasized how Canadians love Americans, and I know Americans love Canadians, but going back and forth with each other, it just hurts both countries. So I want to thank Secretary LeBlanc for reaching out, putting that olive branch in. I've been in business a number of years, a lot of negotiations, and part of the last negotiation, when someone does that, you have to respect that person for putting out that olive branch. And I'm going to make sure we go down there and have a very good but strong and confident conversation.
So, is Mr. Lutnick then going to, are they going to hold off on their steel and aluminum tariffs? Is that your understanding? What's the olive branch other than the invitation to DC?
Well, he has to bounce it off the president, but I'm pretty confident he will pull back. And I'm not speaking for them. I'm not speaking for the president. But if he continues with the aluminum and the steel, I just got off the phone with Minister LeBlanc. They will respond dollar for dollar, tariff for tariff. And again, Minister LeBlanc will be joining me, and hopefully Ambassador Hillman, if she's free, will join me as well. But we'll have a strong delegation. But every negotiation starts sitting at the table. And when someone invites you to their home, said, let's sit down at the table, I'm not going to refuse that.
Premier, you're meeting with Prime Minister Designate Carney tomorrow?
Yes, I am.
Is he part of this discussion as well? Can you just fill us in on your meeting tomorrow and what's up with that?
Dominic LeBlanc is informing the new Prime Minister, elect Prime Minister, Carney, and he'll have a conversation with the Prime Minister.
Premier, the White House Press Secretary mentioned you specifically, said the surcharge was egregious, What did you make of that? Is that factoring into your decision to pull back here?
No, it's not. But in negotiations, you can't keep ratcheting it up on both sides, because the only people that get hurt, Richard, are the Canadian population, Ontario in specific, to be specific, and the American people. I had a conversation with all three governors, Governor Walz just a little while ago, about a week or so ago, but I did speak to Governor Whitmer over the weekend. I spoke to her again this morning, and also Governor Hochul
Will you be
as well.
Trump directly when you head down to Washington?
I'm not too sure. All I know is I'm meeting with the Secretary, Secretary Lutnick, and his entire team down there as well. And again, by no means are we just going to roll over, because we don't roll over to anyone. What we are going to do is have a constructive conversation moving forward. As I reminded the Secretary, you know, we're the closest allies, closest friends, and we need to get back to the table to make sure that we build an AMCAN fortress around the world. I told him we are not the problem, China's the problem, and we look forward to speaking with Secretary Lutnick. I'm sorry.
You moved on electricity.
Yes.
Did you have the okay from the feds, or was this you kind of going on your own?
Well, I think I've been pretty transparent with the federal government and everyone else. I've been mentioning it for probably the last 3 or 4 weeks, and then we had to make a move. Did they catch their attention? That's an understatement. They caught their attention. But I'm not out, and I've said it publicly, I'm not out to hurt the American people. I told the governors I'm not out to hurt them. I apologize that we have to even do this. We have to get to this point. But sometimes you have to play your cards, and this is one of the cards that we played. And hopefully we're going to have a very good, constructive conversation with the Secretary when we get down there. But my goal in any discussion, any negotiation, be it here or in business or in the last agreement that we had, is let's cool everyone down. Cooler heads have to prevail, and we need to sit down and have a very productive conversation. And I truly feel it was the right decision to move forward and bring Minister LeBlanc down, along with the ambassador. If she's free, I have to reach out to her. Folks, this has been moving at rocket speed right now, going back and forth, and we had to make a decision. So I made that decision.
What else would she be doing on this file?
Well, I'm just saying, I have to reach out to her. This is going extremely fast. My number one priority was to talk to the people of Ontario, and I have to reach out to the ambassador. But she's done an incredible job, by the way. I want to thank Ambassador Hillman for all the work she's been doing behind the scenes as well.
Can you say what called who today?
Yes, Secretary Lutnick called me.
Was it because do you think that the CNN push, CNBC, MSNBC, you've been doing a big media blitz on American channels?
Yeah.
Clearly, Secretary Lutnick is noticing that. Do you think that is this vindicating your aggressive, hawkish kind of strategy rather than trying to be an appeaser like some other premiers?
Well, first of all, thank you for that question, Robert. What I'm doing the American media for is to inform the American people. You know, I saw a poll that came out the other day, just recently. 67% of Americans disagree with President Trump attacking Canada. So the more all of us, all premiers, all CEOs of businesses go out there and inform the American people. This isn't just going to hurt Canada, and it will hurt Canada and Ontario. It's going to hurt the U.S., and it's going to hurt badly. We're already seeing inflation go up in the U.S., and that's not going to be good. I'll tell you, I know the Americans fairly well. They're loving, caring people, and as soon as costs start going up, inflation, plants start shutting down, you can't attack your number one customer, Canada, and not expect a response. And we responded, and they came back, and I'm a business person. I want to sit down and negotiate this and stop the bleeding. As we're going at each other, China's sitting back laughing, building their critical mineral arsenal. And, you know, the words Chinese president said the other day should be concerning for the whole world when he said, we aren't ready just for an economic war, any type of war. That's concerning, to say the least.
That was the last question. You think the president was watching you?
Are you concerned that suspending the surcharge that you've put on electricity will be considered a win by Trump?
No, I wouldn't call it a win whatsoever, because we still have it in our toolkit that we can use at any given time. Again, I mentioned to the governors, I apologize, we have to go to this extent. But remember, folks, we never started this war. President Trump started this economic war against Canada. It was unprovoked. I truly believed that we'd move forward and it would grow both economies, would create more jobs, more economic prosperity. Well, this has gone the other way. The economy right now, I'm concerned about it. And if a recession does happen, it's a self-made recession by one person and one person only. So I just want to move forward. I'm asking for the people of Ontario and Canada's support. I want to thank them for the thousands of messages I'm getting, even people that disagree with me. As some people say, I disagree with you 99%, but you're doing a great job. Keep going. I need everyone's support as Team Canada as we move forward, because these negotiations are going to be the toughest we've ever had.
Thank you.
Yes.
No deal. What changed?
I apologize.
You said zero tariffs before, or there was no deal. This is a pause.
It's called,
What's changed?
well, it's called an olive branch. When you're negotiating with someone, they call you and they hand over an olive branch. The worst thing I think I could do as Premier of Ontario is ignore them and hang up the phone on them. I don't operate that way. I believe when someone's putting out an olive branch, we sit back, we accept it graciously, by the way, thank them for that opportunity, and let's start moving. Because if we don't, just imagine, all of you folks have seen how President Trump has changed things on a daily basis. I don't want to wait till April the 2nd. God only knows what would happen from now till April the 2nd. We need to get to the table as quickly as possible.
Thank you. That was the last question.
Well, Mr. Carney, he's making the transition. Make no mistake about it. This is led by the Prime Minister-elect Carney, and along with Minister LeBlanc. They'll be leading the charge there, but Ontario plays a massive role, no matter if it's the auto sector, the tech sector, the agricultural sector, the manufacturing sector. We'd be the third largest trading partner in the world to the United States if we were a standalone country. By the way, I'd never recommend that in a million years, but if we were a standalone country, we'd be the third largest trading partner. We're a very, very important trading partner to the United States. And many CEOs, I had an opportunity to speak to a group of CEOs at Yale today on conference call. I think the Americans understand we are not their enemies. We love the Americans. It's one person that we need to deal with.
Thank you. That was the last question.
I'm sorry.
Tell us about how the call went today. As you said, this electricity surcharge really seems to have got there. How did it go?
It was very constructive. I've talked to Secretary Lutnick before, and make no mistake about it. He's a very, very smart businessman, a shrewd negotiator. And, you know, like him or not, don't underestimate President Trump. He's a smart business person. But in saying that, we have very smart business people here in Canada and in Ontario as well. It's in our both best interest to sit down and negotiate. That's you know, take one of President Trump's titles of his books. That's the art of the deal. Let's sit down and negotiate. We'll negotiate hard. They know we aren't fooling around. We're going to negotiate hard, but we want a fair deal. We want a fair and free trade deal with our closest friends and allies. I'll take one more, then I got to get going.
Where are you meeting, Mark, tomorrow? Where are you meeting?
Oh, why do you ask me that? I can't. Well, anyways. I can't answer. I can't answer that.
That was the last question.
I can't. I'm sorry, guys. I can't. I'm sure you'll find out. I know you will. Oh, I'm not saying.
Maybe you